What's good, guys? TR Podcast, episode 1, with our one and only Hydra. What's good, Hydra?
Nothing much, bro.
Okay, so I want you to introduce yourself. I'll introduce myself in a bit too.
Alright.
Let us know what it's about.
I'm Hydra. I play Smash. I'm a Palatine and Crom main. I'm 17. I'm obviously part of the crew. And,
hmm
what else? Oh, I'm from New Jersey. I haven't really been to too many locals, so I'm kind of just like a Wi-Fi warrior right now.
hmm
Um, I sometimes stream, but I'm kind of just like trying to fix a lot of problems so I can like actually start streaming. And I do a lot of like VOD analysis, like I like to help people get better and stuff, so sometimes I analyze VOD for like other people and stuff. So yeah.
Dope. And what's up, guys? My name's Zay. I'm the TR leader. Gonna be the host. And actually, Hydra's the co-host of this podcast, but I'm gonna interview him today. So it's weird, but yeah. So welcome. Hope you guys enjoy this new series. Basically, what this is about is me and Hydra will be interviewing people from TR. We wanted to do this because a lot of us have been seeing that you know who TR is in the Smash scene, but you don't know who our players are in depth, and we wanted to change that. We wanted you guys to get to know us, and I think this is the best way to do so. So if you guys have questions for the next episode, we don't know who we're doing yet. We'll let you know on Twitter. So check us out on Twitter and give us your questions.
Yep.
So we're gonna start it simple. Hydra, what's your favorite color, bro?
Um, my favorite color right now it's black. I guess when I was younger it used to be like light blue, then like dark blue, and then red. But yeah, I just kind of like the aesthetic of black, to be honest.
Yeah, I see that with everything. Like almost every character you play, you have that
Yeah.
black,
Yeah.
black color. You have Palutena black. I don't know other characters too. And you check him in our server, he's like repped all black. His profile pictures half black. Like it's dope. It's dope.
Honestly,
You have your own aesthetic.
If Palutena didn't have a black hole, I might not even be playing her, to be honest.
That's interesting, man. That's interesting. That's dope. Okay, so I guess we'll actually start with the real questions now. One of the things I was really thinking about, since you're one of our top players in the crew, like what goes on in your head while playing?
Well, playing in like what, like crew battles, tournaments?
Uh, Tournaments. Like, how do you when you start the match when you're playing? How do you react? How do you react to people? You know?
So for me, I kind of like to play a little bit patient at first. I like to kind of like feel through, what type of neutral my opponent's trying to play. So, it depends on the character too. Like, I feel with Palutena, I can be a little bit more aggressive than opposed to like Chrom, because I feel like with Chrom I'll get punished a lot more, and you know Chrom can obviously die really early.
Yeah, for sure.
So mainly I try to just keep my nerves under control, because I feel like a lot of the times when I don't keep them under control, I make like really like bad decisions a lot of the time. Um, it's definitely more of like a Chrom thing than a Palutena thing, I feel. But yeah, so I just try to like play. Well, my playstyle is just really aggressive, so I kind of just try to cover a lot of options. Um, I try to be a little bit more smart. But one thing that's kind of interesting about me that's kind of stuck with me since like Melee is that I don't really think when I play, which isn't really a good thing. But I just have to
Uh-huh.
play off of, like muscle memory a lot.
Hey, it's working. So, you mentioned nerves. Like, so how do you deal with that? And when do you think it hits you the most? During game, before game? When do you think it hits you the most?
Um, so for nerves, I feel like I mean they definitely got better over time, like playing in multiple like Wi-Fi tournaments and stuff. So, but like for me, if my opponent does something that is kind of like tilting, it'll definitely just like make me go like insane with my nerves. Like
Mhm.
I remember this one time I was playing Beastly in a tournament, and I think I was up like 2-1 or something, and I had a lead, and he did some crazy ridiculous combo on me. It was like 3 up airs, and then like I guess he got another up air, and then he did an F smash on a platform. He read my air dodge, and it killed me
Yeah.
at like 60 or something. And like at that point, I was just like destroyed. I got like 3 stock the next game or something like that. So yeah,
So
I
you
have to
you,
just
you would
like play. I just have to like be really like calm most of the time when I play.
so you would say you're really reaction based, depending on how your opponent does.
Um,
That's the
I think it ends up being like that, but I kind of just, like I said, I don't really think when I play, so I just kind of like go with the flow with a lot of things.
that's interesting. That's interesting. What do you think your greatest accomplishment is in the Smash scene?
Um, Greatest accomplishment, I would say, I mean, it's kind of like a work in progress because I kind of just want to get like as good as possible, so like I'm always improving.
Mhm.
Um, but I think my greatest accomplishment is probably just being like good enough to keep up with players who are like decent,
Mhm.
so I can perform at least on like a decent level and sometimes better.
Interesting. Any certain moments in like any memorable moments where you won something or you did something in a crew battle that really stuck with you?
Um, Definitely like anytime I take more than like 3 stocks, I'm really happy. Um, but for like tournaments, I remember winning like my first tournament. I think it was Smash Kingdom, and then I got like second in Smashing Legends the next day. Um,
Wow.
and then for offline, I got fourth at my first local. It was like 4 out of 32, and then my second local was a C tier, and I got like 25 or 23 out of like 300 or something. So I ended up
God damn.
outplacing a lot of like PR'd players, like for example Shoyo Jane or well Rivers, stuff like that.
That's crazy. That's dope. I mean, that's awesome. How do you react to like doing bad in situations?
Um, well, it depends. So like
Let's say
if I
you don't.
do bad in like one matchup, like for example, I'm not really good against like Bayonetta. I'm not good against Pikachu or Pichu. So like for me, as soon as I lose and I get really tilted, I'll be mad for like the first like 3 minutes or so, and then like after that, I'll immediately go on YouTube and like Google VODs of the match I lost and see how those people played it. Um, but yeah, I just try to like learn the matchup like as soon as possible if it's a matchup thing. But if it's kind of just like a loss, like if it was like a really good like like a game 5 or a game 3 match
Mhm.
and it was really close, then I mean it depends. It really just depends on like how I lost,
Interesting.
how I played, and all that.
I'm curious. So when you're going into a tourney, what do you expect yourself to be at a certain level, or do you just go with the flow?
Um, so I kind of set like a certain goal that I kind of want to, or like a certain placement I want to like at
Mm.
least have. So if it's like a small tournament, I'll try to get like at least like top 8 or something. For bigger
Mhm.
tournaments, I'm mostly just satisfied with like a top 32 or 24. Um,
Interesting. Interesting.
so even if like I play bad, and I get like, if I play bad and I get like top 32 at like a really like a WWR event or something like that, I'll still be like glad that I got it, no matter like how I played.
That's dope. That's dope. Is anyone you've played considered your bracket demon?
Beastly was definitely my bracket demon when I don't, he doesn't really play Wi-Fi anymore, but when he used to play Wi-Fi,
Mhm.
I think he even dropped Roy recently, but yeah, his Roy, like I beat him in like the first set we played, and then after that, like the next 3 tournaments, especially because I think there were even bigger tournaments than the one I beat him in. Like I think our record is now like 1-3 or 1-4 or something because of that.
Wow. That's
I
dope.
think Dan also, but I don't know. I have to play a lot smarter when I fight Dan because he kind of just like knows. He knows a lot about the Palutena matchup, and also like Dialga because Bayonetta.
Interesting. Interesting. How does it feel going up against those people? Is it like a
Um,
rivalry?
Against Dan, definitely, yeah. I don't really get to play against Dialga a lot,
Mhm.
but yeah, against Dan, like whenever we play, like it's really funny. So when we used to play in TRs, um, in like the TRPRs, we would be in like winners finals or grand finals like almost every tournament, and it would be like the exact same thing every week. Like we would start Smashville, and then we'd go to like we would just do Smashville the whole set basically, because he would ban he banned, I think it was Battlefield and Final Destination because I would beat him on Final Destination. So I had to go to like Town, Kalos, PS2, or Smashville. So I obviously chose Smashville because I don't want him like camping him out, or I don't want him camping me out on like bigger
Mhm.
stages. So yeah, every week it was really funny. So we would like after game one when we had to counter the stage, like we already knew what we wanted, like no matter who won. So it was just like the fastest sets over and over again.
That's really cool. That's awesome. Can't wait. What's your your set record with him?
Um, at first I think he beat me like the first 2 times, and I beat him like the next 2 times or something, and then he just like beat me like the next 4 or 5 times. So it's probably like 2-7 or something.
Okay. You got some climbing to do, but you got this.
Yeah.
I have a question. Where did your tag originate from?
Okay, so I think it was like some mobile game I was playing. So I have like a history of having like really weird tags. So like my first ever tag I can remember was like Pokemon Master 100 or something. And then it was like my Minecraft tag was Gifted Mushroom. Cause like back then I didn't really have a tag, so like when my brother was making the account, he was like, "Oh, what username do you want?" And I was like, "I don't really know." So he pulled out 2 random books that I had lying around, and he went to a random page in them, and like he saw the word
really cool.
gifted and he saw the word mushroom, so he was like, "All right, gifted mushroom."
That's actually really funny.
But yeah, for Hydra, I think it started when I was trying to play League or something, and then I wanted a tag that sounded like it was something that was like a blade that was like cutting through like a ton of enemies and like destroying everyone. So I was like, for some reason the word like Hydra just came to me, like something that could like slice through like a ton of people like really fast. It was originally Hydra Slicer, but I changed it to Hydra. Just like shorten it.
So, I know in the Smashing there's like a ton of Hydras. How do you feel about that?
It's a struggle, dude. Honestly, like it was really funny one time because in this tournament, me and I wasn't in it, but the other Hydra, the Palutena one, who I think is in Shori Troop or Phantom Troop right now, he entered, and they ended up like seeding him as if they were seeding me, so it was kind of weird. But he actually ended up like placing really well because he's not a bad player. But in terms of just like having like all these Hydras, it definitely gets really confusing. But I think I'm the best one, Luki.
If you could change your tag, what would it be?
I'd probably change it to like Ava, like EVA, and then maybe I'll put like an exclamation point after. Or like Ava Hydra maybe, and then other than that like 999 or like Shadow or something.
Dope. So I'm curious, what are your long-term goals with Smash? Where do you want to take it?
I definitely want to like compete a lot more locally. Maybe once I like have a little bit more time, I'll be able to do that. But yeah, I kind of just want to like make PR. I want to attend like a major. I mean, majors in like New Jersey and New York aren't really that common. Like we used to have Apex, but that kind of died after like 2016.
Yeah.
So like any major that's like in the area, because a lot of them are like, a lot of them are in like MDVA. Like maybe like one day, I'll kind of just like fly out there or like drive there and like stay in a hotel or something, so as to like compete in like SmashCon or like Glitch or any of those tournaments.
Do you see it? So the vibe I'm getting is that you're just doing your best, seeing how far you can go. But would you ever consider doing this for economic reasons, like to get money and?
I mean, a lot of people say like, if you just play like tournaments and you're not like really like a top level player, you won't really be making that much money because like the payouts recently. Well, I mean, I guess the payouts have always been pretty bad, but especially recently, like they definitely like come to light more. But one thing that would be interesting for me is if I started placing really high, or even if I had just like one breakout performance, I could start streaming and hopefully kind of make a living off of like placements and also streaming. But that would just be like a dream to me, basically.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, I see like players like Rivers doing it. I don't know how often Wishes streams, but yeah, he used to do it. Rivers is actually trying to go for Twitch. He's trying to be a Twitch partner right now, so we can generate like ad revenue, you know, like have like a lot more
It's cool.
like money just off of Twitch, like with revenue and all that.
So, what do you think motivates you to play?
For me, I kind of just want to like get better, because Smash has always been like a part of who I am, I guess. Because I never played Smash 4, but I played Melee for like 4 years. So since like 2013, 2014, I started playing Melee.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I just really like fighting games in general and like competing a lot. So I just always want to like get better.
So, is it the competition, or is it like a self struggle where you're always trying to become a better you, or what would you say it is?
I would say it's both, but I feel like because it's competitive, like it makes me want to get better.
Interesting. It's cool. You mentioned being a melee player. How has that transition been coming to
Um,
Ultimate?
I think it's transitioned like, well, it's definitely interesting because I definitely see the transition because like I have an aggressive neutral. I used to press a lot of buttons when I played Melee. Like it was kind of like unhealthy, like the amount of buttons I was pressing, because I had like 300, no, not 300, like 200 to like 250 APM, and I would press my buttons really hard. So like basically, if I played Melee for like 2 or 3 more years, I definitely would have developed like some type of hand problem. Yeah, you know, Ultimate's definitely like a lot easier on the hands, but yeah, in terms of the transition, like neutral game, I'm a lot more aggressive and I press a lot more buttons. And also I don't have a lot of matchup experience against characters like Bayonetta, Diddy Kong, like characters that were really good in
From
Smash
Smash
4.
4.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Interesting. Do you miss melee or?
At times I like watching it, but playing it now, it's kind of, I don't know, like the main reason why I stopped playing it was because I felt like it was kind of just really like stale. Like I felt like I was seeing like the same things over and
Mhm.
over again.
Yeah, for sure.
So for me, Ultimate was kind of just like a fresh start with like Smash.
It's really cool. Who's your favorite player to watch?
I really like watching Nairo and Rivers play because they play both, you know, Nairo on Palutena, Rivers on
Hmm.
Chrom. So I like watching my mains play, and also I like how they both have really like dominant aggressive neutrals.
That's cool. So, do you take anything from them, or do you think your playstyle is like super unique?
Um, so for what I try to do when I like analyze players is
Hmm.
I try to look at things that they do that's really good. So I look at different players for like different reasons basically. So like Jen, who's a New York Palutena, I look at him for like some of his options in neutral, his movement. I look at Nairo almost entirely for his movement. And for Rivers, because he's basically like one of the only Chroms. You know, obviously you have like Mr. R, Blank sometimes, but I haven't really seen much. But yeah, so with Rivers, I kind of just like to see how he frame traps with Chrom, like what normal he chooses at like what specific time and all that. So yeah, I try to
Interesting.
just take different things from like players, and then I try to like mix it in with my playstyle.
If you had any tips for someone starting up in Ultimate, like what would you recommend?
If you're starting and you aren't really good at Ultimate, I wouldn't even recommend learning like matchups. I would just recommend finding a main and seeing what exactly that character does good in. And once you do that, you should definitely look at other players, like high level players that play that character and see what they do. I feel like that kind of gives you like a guide as to like what you should work towards. And then like you should also aim to get better like every day, and also like if your character is like, let's say you play like Chrom, you should definitely lab a lot of combos because he has a lot of combo strings. His combo tree is like enormous. Then you have
Mhm.
to learn like up B out of shield, all that like technical stuff. So yeah, the start definitely happens when you find a main and find out what that character can do.
Yeah, you see a lot nowadays where people flip and flop mains, and I think that is a big problem. I
Yeah,
mean, it's hard too. 'Cause the roster's so big,
yeah,
and
that's true.
there's always new characters coming out. But for sure, I think character consistency is super important. Like, you won't get to the top if you don't understand who your character is and how they play. So for sure. Um, yeah. What do you think helped you get to where you are?
For me, it was definitely playing like really good players. Like, um, when I started, like in the whole crew scene, I was in Lightning Vortex, and I was one of the best
Mhm.
players there, so I wasn't really playing anyone that was like good. But like,
Mhm.
I guess I was good enough to join TR, but like as soon as I got into TR, like 2 months after, I just started to like really improve. Like I got like 10 times better because I was playing really
Wow.
good people in the crew.
So, so why do you think that is? Why do you think because of another person you became better?
I believe it's because when you play someone, especially if you play them for a long time, like you start to kind of just like develop counterplay against them. So
Hmm.
when you develop counterplay against someone, they're also gonna develop some type of counterplay against you, and you kind of just build up. You kind of just build upon that over like repeatedly,
Oh,
and
so it's like a
you
flip
learn the
flop.
matchup. You learn how to like, you learn mostly how to beat them, but you also learn things about the matchup that can help you when you fight other people that play the same character.
Interesting. I also think it's a big part of that is that like you said, when people know you and how you played, they start to take advantage of what you do wrong, and then that's when that you start noticing what you're doing wrong because they keep punishing you. Compared to like if you played someone random, they don't really notice those big glaring issues. So I think when you consistently play good people, they always force you to think a step ahead of how you normally play.
Yeah, an
If that
example
makes
of
sense.
that would be like how I've been fighting Dan, because like I get
Mm,
away with Nair a lot on Wi-Fi because a lot of people don't know how to punish it.
yeah.
But every time I nair him, like he'll shield and up beat me like immediately. That's like the main reason why I've been losing. So counterplay to
Hmm.
that would be to just grab more, but it's kind of difficult, because like Palutena, even though her grabs are really good, like after you have used nair so many times and it's been successful, like it's hard to kind of like change that, especially for just like one person.
For sure. What interested you in Palutena other than her color, of course?
Um, all right, this is a weird answer, but
Wink, wink.
she has the biggest chest size. That was like the main reason.
Of course.
I didn't really play her because she was top tier, which is
Hmm.
probably gonna sound ridiculous, but the main reason I played her is because like I like her
She's hot.
combos. Yeah, and
That's
she
it.
looks
She's hot.
amazing. She's
Okay.
beautiful. I really like her combos, and like
Uh-huh.
I only really struggle with her in like 3 or 4 matchups.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, before Palutena, I played like Pokemon Trainer, Ike, and Snake, and like I didn't really click with any of them. But this one time in like February, I just like played Palutena, like the first time, and for some reason, like it kind of just clicked with me. Like Palutena was just better than my Snake, better than my Ike, better than my Pokemon Trainer. Like the second I like started playing her in that one game, so yeah, I kind of just like stuck with her.
Interesting. That's dope. What drew you to Chrome or Chrome? Oops.
Chrom, he kind of fits like the button mashy like playstyle I really wanted, coming from
Hmm.
Melee. He also has a kill confirm, which I believe is great. He has a tech chase, down tilt, and you can like read whatever they do off the tech and then get an F smash. He's really fast, which is what I like, and he has really good combos. And he also has an up B out of shield that does like 26 damage. So yeah, I think he's just like overall a really solid character. And also, people say like he goes even with like Pikachu, Pichu. I think he beats Inkling, so like I feel like he can kind of cover Palutena's like bad matchups really well.
Dope. Really cool. You mentioned TR. So what brought you here?
So when I was in LV, a lot of people like whenever we thought of like a good crew, like people would just say TR like all the time. It was never like AV, it was never like SG, it was never like GOG or any of that. It was always
Uh-huh.
TR because I think Persona, or well, his name is Six now. He
Hmm.
used to be in TR, I guess, and like he he definitely like knew like the players in TR were really good, so we would kind of just like
Hmm.
talk about it, or he would like tell us about it a lot. But after I left LV and I was looking for a crew, obviously I couldn't get into AV.
Hmm.
SG died like the same day I left LV, so I couldn't try out for them, but I probably wasn't going to. So the main reason why I joined TR is because I heard they had really good players. I looked at the roster and I saw like this character roster that I had never even seen before. Like in my old crew, we only had me, a Palutena, a Zelda, and a Youngling, and that was it. And then we had like a Sonic. So
Hmm.
seeing like Pikachu, Palutena, like Wario, seeing like all these other different
Hmm.
characters, like it definitely like drew me in. And also I really like the name. I think the name is really good, and TR to me like looks way
Hey,
better than like any other name in the SCS. And also the
dope.
color. I really like the color, like that blue aesthetic.
Thank you. Yeah, that's dope. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
That's dope. If anyone wanted to join TR, what would you recommend? Because we get a lot of tryouts, you know.
What do you mean? What do I recommend?
So like, what skill level do you recommend people be? How do you want? Should they approach tryouts? Anything like that?
Well, first of all, I think everyone should try out, even if you don't think you're good, to be honest, because a lot of the time, like, there are like characters that people might have like a hard, like like trouble with. So,
Mhm.
for example, like if you play like Inkling and you use Roller a lot, a lot of people don't know how to deal with it. So even though it's kind of like a scrubby way of like playing Inkling, like essentially, especially on Wi-Fi, that's still like a really good option. So I mean, a lot of people have different playstyles, right? So like,
Mhm.
one person might say, all right, this person is bad because of their playstyle, but another person might be like, all right, this person's really good, like, and not even identify like their playstyle is bad. So I mean, I think like the skill level you should be at when you try out should be like at least mid level.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I don't really think you should try. Well, I don't think you should be discouraged from trying out just because you play like a certain character. I think everyone should like, no matter who you main, like you should try out.
Going
Yeah,
off
definitely like mid
Hydra,
levels.
uh, I really like when you mentioned like roller. Like, let's say you do abuse roller, you could we'll tell you that, you know, it's a cool thing because you'll learn. We'll give you tips if you want them.
Yeah,
So, you know, come by. We'll tell you and I think we've had people who have failed like 12 times, but then eventually got in. So it's a journey. So if you're willing to take that with us, I'm sure one day you'll get it.
yeah, and for me,
um,
like we do sets, right? So it's like a
mhm,
best of five, a first of five, or whatever, and you have to get two yeses from a tester to get in.
mhm,
Um, but yeah, I definitely like as soon as I got in, like I just started improving to the point where like I definitely do deserve to be in TR. So I mean,
that's
even
dope,
if you
bro.
aren't like as good currently, if we see potential in you,
Mhm,
you know, we'll give you a yes.
for
So that's
sure.
just kind of like my train of thought from like whenever I test people.
That's dope. We're gonna step a little bit of outside of Smash. Like, what hobbies do you have outside of Smash?
Well, I like to watch YouTube a lot.
Mhm.
Um, I play a lot of gacha games. So like Fire
Mhm.
Emblem Heroes. What else? Let me check my phone actually. Oh, Pokemon Masters. I was playing Mario Kart Tour for a while. But yeah, I just kind of like playing gachas a lot. I like to
Mhm.
watch a lot of well, I wouldn't say I like to watch a lot of anime because I'm kind of selective with it. Like I don't really like watching like lolly anime or anything like that. I
Yeah,
kind of just
for
watch
sure.
like I'm into like dark fantasy anime, adventure anime,
For
like action
real.
anime. Yeah,
Mhm.
but yeah, I don't
Yeah,
really
we
like
shared
going
that.
too crazy with it.
Give me a list of your top three anime
Top
off the top of your
three,
head. Yeah.
Evangelion,
Uh huh.
JoJo's,
Uh huh.
and Rurouni Kenshin.
Oh, Ronnie Kitchen is fire.
Yeah,
That's dope.
I think I've seen it like 4 times already. I think it was the first anime I ever seen.
Mhm. Uh, how do you think Smash has affected your personal life? It's like day to day.
Um, I guess I'm a little bit more like somehow aware. Like I don't know. I feel like I'm more like aware of like things that happen. Um,
Mhm.
I guess like everything I do is kind of like, all right, I want to. Okay, especially like managing time, because like I feel like managing time is like the most important thing. Because like if you
Yeah.
manage your time, like you're able to do so many different things. So it can be hard at times to do that, but when you manage your time, like it lets you be more productive and more efficient. So yeah, that's definitely like probably like the main way I've been able to do
Yeah.
that.
So do you like always try to find time for like Smash and
Yeah, in one
personal
way or
life?
another, definitely. Like even if it's just like watching a stream or like watching like a VOD or something like that, like I definitely try to like have that
And
like
I
a little bit
think
of time.
that's what I think that's what makes you such a good player. a lot of people aren't willing to do that, which is really cool to see. Interesting. Um, what do you think about the Smash team?
Um, I honestly think it's a good place to be in, but the thing about it is like it's not to me Smash isn't like I mean it's obviously not a traditional fighting game, but you can't go into like the Smash scene and say like, all right, I'm gonna get the same treatment as like Street Fighter, I'm gonna get the same treatment as Tekken, because like I feel like in Smash at least, because it's so big, like there are more people that are gonna be salty. Obviously, there are people that are like mad about stuff, that have like really bad like opinions and don't really want to help
Mm.
people, so they're like toxic. But at the same time, we have a lot of people that are willing to help you in like so many different things. Like I posted on Twitter yesterday, like I really need help in the Bayo matchup, and I got like 4 or 5 people that DM me like, yo, I'll help you with the Bayo matchup.
So
So there are definitely people that are willing to help you, but if you're in an environment that does have toxic people, like you have to like kind of like take yourself out from that. But I think the Smash scene honestly is really welcoming, but
yeah,
it's not hard to see like the toxicity at the same time.
yeah, it's just a loud minority, to be honest. A lot
Yeah,
of people are really chill in the Smash scene. I'd recommend finding like a group. Like TR is a good example for me, at least. Like, it's a great motivator. Like, you see your friends getting better and people you talk to every day getting better, so that kind of pushes you. So if you could find a group of friends, it doesn't even have to be a crew. Just at your local scene or from school. Just I think that would help a lot.
yeah, definitely. Especially like my experience with locals, I feel like a lot of people, at least in New Jersey, are like really outgoing. So
Hmm.
yeah.
So uh now here, this segment is called random questions. So I have a few random questions for you, Hydra.
Okay.
If you could visit any place, where would you go?
Um, it's I would say like Japan or California, but I would visit Japan after I learn how to speak Japanese, just so I'm not
Oh,
like
you're
lost.
learning.
Not yet, because I
That's dope.
definitely want to like learn a few things. Like I want to learn Japanese. I want to learn coding, and I want to learn like what else? I want to learn like well, it's either like Japanese or Korea. I don't or Korean. I don't really know like which one yet, but I think it'll be Japanese.
Dope.
But yeah, definitely another language.
Awesome. You mentioned coding. Is that a career option you're going for?
Yeah, I want to major in like computer science, so I want to see. I feel like it's pretty interesting, so like I definitely want to like experiment with it, like I guess earlier. So oh, another
Really
big
cool.
motivator is because like my computer science. Well, I have this class. It's called Intro to Technology. So I'm a senior
Mhm,
in high school, right? So this
mhm.
teacher, she doesn't really do anything. So because that class, like I don't really do anything in it. She doesn't know how to teach or anything like that. I kind of want to like actually learn like actual, like coding and all that.
So, what got you into that?
My brother's into it, so a lot of the motivation I guess comes from like what he does. But I feel like it's really interesting. Like I like a lot, like working with computers and stuff. So I feel
Oh,
like learning like the very basics and like fundamentals of it would be really interesting.
that's really cool. Next random question. What's your favorite animal?
Uh, I'm gonna say a tiger. That's been
Tiger.
my response like ever since I was little. Yeah, I
Why?
think it's
Why
just cool.
tiger? What about the tiger?
Um, I like how they have like the stripes.
Hmm.
They're really strong, and I don't know, they just look really cool.
So, uh, that's awesome. Any final thoughts you want
Um,
to end on?
Final
Anything
thoughts.
about you? Anything about TR? Anything? Hit us with it.
If you're looking to join a crew, I'd say you should try out for TR first. I feel like they have a really welcoming environment, and like also like the state of like the whole cruise scene right now. Like I think a lot of the top crews, like they're all really good choices, but I don't know. Like even if I had the choice to like enter AV, RPG, or Zenith or whatever, I would still like I wouldn't do it. I would always just like stay in TR.
Oh,
This
I
is just
swear I
like my
didn't
home.
pay him to say that. I swear.
This is just my home now, dude.
Slide the dollar bill across the table. That's dope. Anything about you yourself? And anywhere people can check you out?
Oh, my Twitter is like the main like way I can like communicate with people. I guess that like don't already have like my Discord. So my Twitter
Mhm.
is EVA_Hydra.
Awesome.
I can like if you ever whoever's like watching, if you ever have like like trouble in like in like a match, like you don't really know what you did wrong. Like I do analyze matches and stuff for people, so
Mhm.
yeah, I like doing it for fun.
Interesting. That's so. Well, thank you, Hydra. Thanks everyone for watching. This has been a pretty good first episode. It was fun. What do you think?
Yeah, yeah, it was pretty good.
So, okay, let's discuss for a bit. Who would you wanna see next on the podcast?
Um, I, I honestly think we should get Dan. I feel like his would be
Dan?
really funny for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, he's a goofy dude. Yeah, I agree. Maybe Dan. Yeah, I'm interested to see players like Zomba too. Who really don't get a lot of spotlight for their
Yeah.
personality. But yeah, Dan for sure. Let's try to get him in next time. Well, thank you guys. It's been a pleasure. See you guys for next time on episode 2. See ya.